Asanteni sana. Mheshimiwa Prime Cabinet Secretary, waheshimiwa mawaziri, makatibu, katibu mkuu wa KOTU, Daktari Francis Atwoli, and the entire labor movement leadership. Ndugu na dada wafanyikazi wenzangu wa taifa la Kenya, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Wafanyikazi hoye. Wakenya hoye. Mimi nafurahi sana kuungana na nyinyi katika sherehe hii ya muhimu ya kuadhimisha siku ya wafanyikazi katika taifa letu la Kenya. Pia kuadhimisha miaka 60 ya KOTU katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na kama mfanyikazi, naungana na wafanyikazi wenzangu. Kuna wale wafanyikazi wako permanent and pensionable. Alafu kuna wafanyikazi wengine kama sisi ambao tuko kandarasi ya miaka. Wengine wako na kandarasi ya miaka 3, wengine miaka 5 na tofauti zingine. Lakini sote sisi ni wafanyikazi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Na itachukua sote tukiungana, tukishirikiana, kwa sababu kuvua ni kazi, kufundisha ni kazi, kutibu ni kazi, kulinda walinzi wale kutoka yule guard mpaka CDF wa jeshi wote ni wafanyikazi. Pale sokoni kazi inaendelea. Kule viwandani ni kazi inaendelea na wafanyikazi. Kule mashambani vile vile ni kazi inaendelea na wafanyikazi. Sisi zote tukiunganika, tukifanya kazi kwa pamoja, ndio Kenya itapiga hatua ya kwenda mbele. Mimi leo napenda sana, huyu Atwoli alisema ataongea kwa kifupi. Akaongea kwa kifupi kweli. But wacha nisome taarifa nilio nayo alafu nitasema mambo machache. I am honored, ladies and gentlemen, to join you today as we mark 60 years of tireless advocacy, solidarity and progress in protecting the rights and welfare of Kenyan workers. International Labour Day grants a timely reminder of our constitutional and moral duty to uphold the dignity of labor without discriminating by age, gender, race, ethnicity, or ability, and to continually confront the evolving challenges facing our workforce. This year's theme, self-reliance in production, is the key to economic growth and resonates deeply with our collective national ambition. It calls on all of us as government, workers, entrepreneurs, and communities to champion a Kenya that is resilient, productive, and truly self-reliant. It is in this spirit that this week the Cabinet approved the 2025 Finance Bill, a key instrument in our ongoing national economic transformation quest. This bill has been carefully crafted to stimulate economic growth, deliver efficiency, and enhance competitiveness and expand opportunity. In fact, its provisions are designed to offer targeted relief for both businesses and workers and to support the spirit of enterprise and productivity. Notably, to improve workers' take-home pay employers will now be required to apply eligible tax relief and exemptions directly when calculating pay as you earn, a significant shift from the current system where such reliefs can only be claimed from Kenya Revenue Authority. Precisely what Atwoli was talking about. I think he read my speech, and that is why he was raising those issues. This will increase efficiency and immediately benefit employees. Additionally, all pensions and gratuity payments for both the public and private sector will now be tax exempt. This reform is a recognition of the service and sacrifice of our senior citizens and workers, and a step towards ensuring that retirement is met with dignity, not stress. Small businesses will also benefit from simplified tax treatment, as they will now be allowed to fully deduct the costs of everyday equipment in the year of purchase, thereby eliminating unnecessary delays in accessing or assessing tax relief. Distinguished workers, ladies and gentlemen, when we speak of making Kenya truly self-reliant, I am proud to report to the nation that we are not merely making declarations. We are taking bold, concrete, and measurable steps. We are walking the talk, and here is why. For decades, our national savings culture was stagnant compared to our neighbors in Uganda and Tanzania and elsewhere. Until 2023, just 2 years ago, the average Kenyan worker saved only 200 shillings a month through the National Social Security Fund. Over a span of 60 years, we collectively as a nation managed to save 320 billion. In 2023, we operationalized the law mandating a savings contribution of 6% by both employee and employer, and the result has been remarkable and impressive. In just 2 years, we have mobilized 280 billion in national savings, nearly equal to what we saved over 6 decades. By end of this year, we will have doubled that 60-year figure, and by 2027, we project to have raised close to $1 trillion in domestic savings. Kenya's savings to GDP ratio currently stands at between 10 and 12%, depending on the calculation you apply. My intention is to raise GDP or savings as a percentage of GDP to 25% in the medium term. That will enable us as a nation to build a pool of resources that we can use to lend to the SMEs and the private sector, and we can grow more businesses and reduce the cost of borrowing, so that the double-digit borrowing of 18% or 20%, it is not possible for us to grow our economy, to grow more business, to expand enterprise if the cost of borrowing money is high. We must bring it down to single digit. And the route to bringing it down to single digit is to build greater savings in Kenya. I want to thank the Kenyan workers. I want to thank Dr. Atwoli and Kotu and FKE. When we sat down with them, they saw the point when I made the case to them that it is time for Kenya to measure up to what other countries are doing, and we have to make the necessary decisions so that Kenya can build savings in a manner that it will help us, one, reduce old age poverty. When I came here for celebrations, Atwoli here told me Kenya is number 92 in the worst countries with old age poverty. Because if you save 200 shillings, when you exit at 60, maybe the entire savings you will have made is like 70, 80,000. 70, 80,000 will not last you 2-3 months. And that is why, after retirement, many workers die. So we must make sure that after retirement, all workers will have a decent livelihood and they can have a good measure of pension and also make sure that they can have monthly income coming from their hard-earned savings when they had the energy to work. The blueprint of our inclusive plan in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda is anchored on 5 key pillars: agriculture, micro and small enterprises, universal health care, affordable housing, and the digital and creative economy. I must stand here to thank the Kenyan workers from across the divide. You all remember that in 2022, we had challenges of food insecurity. We had challenges of inflation. We had challenges of exchange rates. I want to say and to report to the country that after 2.5 years, our Kenyan farmers have done a tremendous job. They have produced food. We have supported them. We increased our maize production by 40% in the last 2 years. We increased our production of coffee. We increased our production of tea. We have increased our production of sugarcane. And today, our import bill, importing maize or sugar or the other commodities, has gone down because our farmers are producing more than they have done before. We must commend them because they are working for the people of Kenya. I must also say that because of the interventions that we have made, inflation has come down from 9.6% to 3.5% this year. Exchange rate has come down from 165 to the dollar to now 129 to the dollar. We have expanded our foreign exchange reserves by 2.4 billion shillings. 240 billion shillings. So we have made progress. And that is the reason why the IMF last week listed Kenya as the 6th largest economy. In 2022, Kenya was the 8th largest economy. In 2.5 years, we have managed to overtake Angola, we have managed to overtake Ethiopia. Now Kenya is the 6th largest economy in Africa. In fact, it is the largest economy in East and Central Africa. And it is because of the Kenyan workers, the collective effort of our farmers, of our workers in industry, of our teachers, and everybody else that has contributed to moving Kenya to where we are today. I am very confident about the future of our country if we work together in the manner in which we are working together. In agriculture, our overarching goal remains to make farming profitable, stabilize farmer incomes, and secure national food security. The reduction of fertilizer prices has led to 40% surge in maize production, boosted farmer earnings, reforms in the coffee sector, including the elimination of inefficiencies and corruption, and the streamlining of the Nairobi Stock Exchange have raised farmer prices from 50 shillings to a kilo to between 100 and 150 shillings to a kilo now. Similarly, reforms in the sugar sector have revitalized the industry, leading to record production, better incomes, and bonus payouts for farmers, while creating thousands of new jobs. I recall with very deep personal satisfaction seeing Mama Redempta Makoha of Mumias receive a bonus check of 80,000 in January this year, money she has proudly used to advance her well-being. That is what real impact and transformation looks like. And let me assure the Kenyan workers and the representative of the Kenyan workers, we've just completed the leasing of the 5 sugar factories owned by the government of Kenya. They will now be commercially run by private sector players who have the acumen, the resources, the know-how on how to run business. And I want to assure you that no worker is going to lose their job. In fact, with the increased efficiencies, with better performance of these factories, we are scheduled to hire more workers so that we can drive our sugar industry. Our affordable housing program is another flagship initiative delivering real impact. By end of April, it had created 250,000 jobs spanning architecture, engineering, urban planning, masonry, carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, while reinvigorating local economies. I proudly saw workers from affordable housing in this meeting, and I want to commend them for the transformation they are carrying out in the Republic of Kenya, not just in Nairobi, but everywhere else. This program will, in the next few years, expand home ownership across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, the MSME sector remains the greatest untapped reservoir of employment in Kenya today. Our commitment to unlocking its potential is resolute. The Hustler Fund continues to deepen financial inclusion and support entrepreneurship at scale. To date, over 25 million Kenyans have accessed nearly 70 billion through the fund, with over 4.5 billion mobilized in savings. We have also introduced a 9-band credit rating system to formalize credit histories and unlock new opportunities for those without traditional collateral. Already, more than 4.5 million borrowers with A and B rating have qualified for the Hustler Fund Bridge product, linking them to commercial banks and paving the way to the formal credit market. Over 400,000 have transitioned to this product, with some accessing up to 150,000 without security, without title deeds, without logbooks. They can now have access to 150,000. These borrowers are the future of our enterprise and economy. Ladies and gentlemen, our education, we are closing the teacher shortage gap that existed in 2022 of 116,000. We have recruited over 76,000 teachers in the last 2 years. And we have set aside another 2.4 billion shillings in this year's budget to hire additional teachers, 20,000 of them, with effect from January next year. Further, the government has allocated another 1.6 billion for capacity building for teachers and another 1 billion for the promotion of teachers, so that we can have them assist us produce more human capital and more workers with skills and competencies to manage our economy and to run our country. This investment has improved student-teacher ratios, enhanced literacy and numeracy, and generated stable employment in communities across the country. Labor migration continues to be a cornerstone of our strategy to expand jobs for Kenyans. Last year, over 200,000 Kenyans secured jobs abroad. This year, we are strengthening our efforts through targeted recruitment and bilateral labor agreements. The newly opened Labor Attaché office in Berlin will help operationalize these partnerships and serve as a strategic hub for accessing opportunities in the broader European countries or European Union of 26 countries. The net well-being of workers is incomplete without health security. I am pleased to report that over 21 million Kenyans have registered under the Social Health Authority, up from 8 million under what was NHIF. This is a monumental leap towards universal health coverage. I urge every Kenyan to register, and I am happy that every day I watch the SHA portal, and every day between 45,000 and 50,000 Kenyans register. They are assessed, and we are moving the country towards universal health coverage. We are overcoming the teething problems that existed, and more Kenyans are beginning to realize that we can have universal coverage, reaching out to as many Kenyans as possible. Distinguished workers, ladies and gentlemen, the right to join a union for protection of the values of fair pay, safe working conditions, and the right to unionize is a constitutional guarantee. I have directed the Ministry of Labour and all relevant agencies to ensure that even employees under outsourced contracts can freely join trade unions and benefit from collective bargaining frameworks. Additionally, I am also pleased to announce that Kenya will ratify the two critical ILO conventions. ILO Convention number 189 of 2011 on domestic workers to safeguard their dignity and rights, and ILO Convention number 190 of 2019 on eliminating violence and harassment in the world of work. Dr. Mutua and team, you know what you need to do so that when we come here next year, we will report to the Kenyan workers that we have ratified and we have concluded our work. As Dr. Atwoli has said, when we agreed to enhance pay by last year, there ensued a debate, and some of the employers have not implemented the 6% we agreed on last year. It is not right, it is unacceptable, and I am directing the ministry to work with the head of public service to ensure that every employer makes sure that we implement the 6% increase of salary that we agreed upon last year, and to quickly embark on the exercise to put together the next agreement so that we can take it forward in the next time. To all of you, as the Kenyan workers, I agree with Dr. Atwoli that the city of Nairobi is the face of Kenya, and we must live in the city that has dignity. And I have joined hands with the county government of Nairobi to make sure that we complete all the link roads, to make sure that the city of Nairobi has motorable walkways and decent roads in different estates, especially in the informal settlements. We have also agreed with the city of Nairobi on how we are going to clean this city. As I talk to you, we have 20,000 young people under the Climate Works arrangement, because I made a commitment that we are going to clean Nairobi River and make sure that we develop additional social housing for the people of Nairobi to give dignity to the city of Nairobi. I went around the city of Nairobi 2 months ago, and we also agreed that the children of Nairobi, who today don't have as much school facilities and infrastructure as other counties, will benefit from additional government support so that all the children in the city of Nairobi, especially those who live in informal settlements and attend informal schools, are graduated to public schools where they can get proper education paid for by the government of Kenya. I want to thank the members of Nairobi, the members of parliament from Nairobi County, and some of them are here, for the partnership that we have worked on to make sure that both the children of Nairobi go to school and the city of Nairobi benefits from the Climate Works program that will employ more young people. And we are going to be transitioning to another 40,000, to another 20,000 to make it 40,000 shortly as we graduate into the budget next month. So wale wote ambao wanashiriki katika kazi hiyo ya Climate Works, wale wanashiriki, na mimi naona nafikiri wengine wao wako hapa, wale wanafanya kazi katika affordable housing, mimi nataka niwaeleze ya kwamba hii nchi yetu itajengwa na sisi kama wafanyikazi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Affordable housing itatupatia ajira, pia itatupatia mahali pazuri pa kuishi, kuondoa wananchi wengi wanaoishi katika vitongoji duni. Na mimi nataka niseme ya kwamba vile mumeuliza, mmoja wenu wameuliza ya kwamba mnataka kutumia payslip katika kuaccess mambo ya affordable housing. Hiyo ni maneno mzuri sana. As long as we are discussing how we are going to occupy the houses, whether by deposit, wale wako na deposit, yule ambaye una deposit peleka payslip, tutapangana na wewe tujue vile utapata nyumba uishi mahali pazuri. So tushirikiane namna hiyo, tufanye kazi hiyo kwa pamoja, na mimi nataka niwaeleze ya kwamba Kenya itabadilika. Nilikubaliana na watu wa China. Wakati nilienda China, pengine watu wengi walikuwa wanafikiri tumeenda kukopa madeni zaidi. Hapana. Tulikubaliana ya kwamba tutajenga barabara kutoka Rironi kwenda Nakuru baadaye mpaka Malaba. Lakini sio kwa madeni. Hapana. Tutajenga barabara hiyo kutumia investment. Vile tumejenga expressway kutoka airport mpaka mjini Nairobi, hatujatumia pesa ya serikali. Na hiyo pia tutafanya hivyo. Hata hiyo reli tutatoa Naivasha tupeleke mpaka border yetu na Uganda. Vile vile itakuwa kupitia kwa barabara ya investment, sio kwa madeni. Kwa sababu nimesema ya kwamba lazima tupunguze madeni, kwa sababu inaweza kuharibu nchi yetu. Na tutumie mbinu mbadala, a different approach, a much more innovative approach to carry out development in our country. And it is doable and it is possible. Kwa hivyo tushirikiane katika njia hiyo, na mimi nataka niwaulize Wakenya wote tuungane, tushirikiane, tufanye kazi kwa pamoja. Uchaguzi inakuja 2027. Na Wakenya wataamua mambo ya uchaguzi 2027. Kwa sasa tushirikiane, kila mtu afanye kazi mahali ameajiriwa. Ikifika wakati huo kutakuwa na mtihani. 2027 kutakuwa na mtihani. Wale watapita mtihani wataendelea. Wale wataanguka mtihani wataenda kulima, na dunia itasonga mbele. So Kenya inatakikana tuwe namna hiyo, tukijua ya kwamba tusiharibu muda wetu mkubwa tukigombana ugomvi pande hii, sijui nani atafanya wapi, sijui nani ndio nini. Hiyo ni mambo ambayo haiwezi kutusaidia kwa sasa. Kwa sasa tuzalishe chakula, tusaidie wakulima wetu, tusaidie kilimo, ituzalishie chakula, ituzalishie mambo ya agro-processing, itupatie bidhaa ambayo tutauza nje ya nchi, tuweze kudhibiti uchumi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Tujenge affordable housing, wa Kenya watoke katika slums. Tuhakikishe kwamba kuna bima ya afya ambayo haibagui nani yako na kazi, nani hana kazi. Tuhakikishe kwamba tuko na amani katika taifa letu la Kenya ili uchumi ikue na sisi wote tujivunie kuwa wa Kenya. Sisi ni nchi ya demokrasia. Umesikia vile Atuoli amesema wako na demokrasia kule kotu na kuko na demokrasia everywhere. We want to build a strong, democratic, united, prosperous nation that all of us can live in and be proud of. And it's not going to happen. We are going to make it happen. And it's going to be a product, a prosperous Kenya is going to be a product of decisions that we make. We cannot be prosperous if we don't make the right decisions. We cannot develop if we make the wrong decisions. We must make the right decisions for the country to grow. And I want to promise the people of Kenya that I will always make the right decisions to make sure that Kenya makes progress. Because I owe it to the people of Kenya to make the right decisions. Sometimes they may not be popular, but they are the right decisions that will change the destiny of our country. If I did not make the right decisions in 2022, if I did not stop the subsidies of fuel and unga and all the other things, we would not be talking today that Kenya is the 6th largest economy in Africa. We would be talking about something else. So, tunataka tushirikiane namna hiyo, tufanye kazi namna hiyo, and I am very confident about the future of our country. Kenyans, we have the best country that we can have. We should be proud to be Kenyans. And we must do whatever it takes to make this country great. We must avoid convenient decisions that only helps us to mark time on the same spot. We must make the decisions that will make Kenya progress and move forward. And I want to assure you that as long as I'm president, I will make the right decisions that will make this country move forward because I believe in the prosperity of our nation. I want to thank all of you for joining us today in this wonderful celebration of 60 years of KOTU, and to commit to you that we are going to work together as partners in building our nation. I want to say thank you very much, God bless you, and happy Labor Day. Asanteni sana.
Tumpongeze rais kwa makofi tafadhali. Naomba tumpongeze rais, na sasa mahali tulipo kama umeketi naomba tuweze kusimama ili tumalize kwa wimbo wa taifa. Kama kuna mahali umeketi tafadhali tusimame sote, tusimame wima, tumalizie kwa wimbo wa taifa.